Hello everyone. I hope I am audible and visible. Let me just have a quick tech check so that I can be aware, like whether I guess I am audible and visible. I guess I am audible and yes. Okay. So hello everyone. Yeah, it's been long. Yes, like 15 days, and we had lots of event that we had seen. Something, some are good, some are bad. Hello Sachin. Hello Abneet. Hello Ankit. हाँ, देश दुनिया में बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही हैं. Like there are some negative news from the northwestern front, that is Haryana. Yes, Haryana is seeing one of the violence that we never wanted to see. Hello Mansi, yeah, right? And the kind of violence it is being provoked, the kind of hatred, the kind of differences between people that is coming out. Some good news as well. Like people are saving. Right. Some people who doesn't belong to their community or caste or anything like that. So yes, there is some good news in the bad news. And then we had seen this particular train shootout. Yes, train may whatever happened with that RPF guy, he was not stable, I guess. I'm not sure about how politics working over there, but the thing is, whatever happened was completely unfortunate. Then we had seen the stay order on Rahul Gandhi's suspension. Yes. Hello, Prabhav, hello. No, Vedabit, we are covering two major topics. Right. Hello, Kavyaini. Hello, Navneet. Hello, Prabhav. So the big news that was last day, that was the suspension जो भी हुआ था उनका राहुल गांधी का, right? So उसमें कोर्ट ने स्टे ऑर्डर दे दिया whatever conviction he had faced in the Gujarat High Court and the lower court. So Supreme Court says we should stop over there. They were like, "Ki, this is the maximum imprisonment and they don't give a reason, so we should have a stay and then we will see what we can do, what and how it can be happen." Right. Apart from that, Manipur is again same problem. Manipur is having same sort of problem. The South India is having some good and bad news, like suspension of a minister, and then some clashes between the governor and the chief minister and the current ruling government, and some other newses. Right. So overall, last 15 days were mixed. Some good news, some bad news. All we can do because one of the student texted me in the telegram, are we going to discuss about the violence in Haryana? So no, we are not going to discuss violence in Haryana because it's not very relevant to the CLAT exam. Yes, we can talk about what happened, but we are not supposed to talk about like whether this is important or not. The answer is no, it's not very important. Right? So that is the reason we are not talking. All we can do is to pray, and all we can do is to praise those people who are doing positive work even there. So let's hope for the best. Okay. Hello, Isa. Hmm. Vedavit, we are having weekly current affairs class in which we discuss like almost 8 to 12 topics in 2 hours. Yes, so we are having weekly class that is going to be conducted on Sunday. We are having YouTube Fortnightly as well. So don't worry, we are having tons of topic to discuss. Yeah. So without any delay, let's start what we are having today. The first one is Jan Vishwas Bill 2023, the Amendments of Provision Bill. A very talked topic, lots of politics, lots of question, lots of different things that is being discussed in the different platform, whether that is newspaper, print media, or digital media. So Jan Vishwas Bill was one of the provision that was presented in the last year, ending that was the winter session in December, but it was not very much accepted, so it was sent to the Joint Committee of Parliament, which is known as JCP, right? And after that, the committee has provided some changes, suggested some increments, suggested some addition, some subtraction, etc., etc. And ultimately, in the March ending, the new form of the bill, जैसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं नया मसौदा जो है वो क्या हो गया था, तैयार हो गया था, and then it was presented in the monsoon session. Correct. So Jan Vishwas Bill is one of the particular bill that is associated with how can I explain? Like Jan Vishwas is simply meaning in English that the trust of people. Jan mean people and Vishwas mean trust. So the thing is ki some particular good governance concept. If we are talking about government and its working methodology governance, all we demand is transparency. As a taxpayer, we should actually demand transparency. We demanded transparency. We wanted to make sure that there is no corruption, right? There is no bad use of taxpayers' money. And this particular bill, according to the parliament, according to the ruling government, is one of the steps that is being taken to make this particular transparency and availability of information like a lesser criminalization of governance. That is, these are some very heavy term that they used, right? So Jan Vishwas will simply amends some of the provision just made. For example, if there is a government employee and who did something, some corruption, right? And he caught in the corruption. So there are some provision how much fine he should bear if the corruption is a very like intense and very criminally accepted, then that person should be imprisoned for some time. So all those provisions, all those fines, imprisonment, and all other things, these are being amended, and it was presented in the last year December winter session. Then went to the JCP, that is Joint Committee of Parliament, or JPC, Joint Parliamentary Committee. That is what they are saying, and then they have some advice. Let's move to what we are saying. Yes, Kavyani, they are amending some of the bill. We will discuss at the end what are the major bills that they had amended. So ultimately, the government made this bill, presented in the parliament in such a fashion that they are going to increase the transparency of administration and governance. Okay, moving on. Now, this is our like exact what we are discussing, which is written on the website of PRS, that is parliamentary जो भी resources होते हैं उसके लिए. Through the Jan Vishwas Bill, Amendment of Provision Bill 2023, a total of 183 provision are being proposed. Correct? Yes. 183 provisions जो है propose किए गए हैं किसके लिए? To be decriminalized in 42 central act administered by 19 ministries and departments. So total 19 ministries and departments are going to be affected, and with those 19 ministries and departments, 42 central acts are associated. And on those 42 central acts, 183 provisions are being decriminalized. This was the major thing that was the discussion, that was the topic of discussion and debate in the social media. I followed this topic in the Twitter, some of Twitter and digital media, some of the what we can say activists and some of the like lawyers, they were not very convinced with the bill. They were like, if somebody is doing corruption and if we are proposing to decriminalize some provision, that is not something that is going to increase the transparency. So somewhere in the favor, somewhere not in the favor, somewhere like okay, some aspect of decriminalization is positive because some governance part, some part is unnecessarily added. So those people are like कि जो unnecessarily added है उसको हटाया गया, तो that is okay. Now, what are the decriminalization that is proposed from this bill? All right. So first one is written over there. The bill seeks to remove the imprisonment clause and or fine in some provisions and convert them into the penalties in some others. So some cases में इन्होंने imprisonment का clause हटा दिया है, फाइन का क्लॉज हटा दिया है, एंड पेनल्टी का क्लॉज क्या किया हुआ है, उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया है. द पेनल्टीज विल बी डिटरमाइंड बाय द educating officers appointed by the respective ministry and department. So the ministry or department will appoint an officer who will be responsible for deciding what are the penalties that is going to be put over some person who is doing any sort of corruption or something. Right. The second part is the bill also introduced the compounding of offense in some provision. Right. Compound interest, जानते हो ना? Yes, right. So, compounding of offense in some provision, which clearly state that the offender can settle their case by paying certain amount without going through a court trial. So, if I am a civil government employee, and I am doing some corruption, and I was caught. So people were like, let's go to the jail, let's go to the court and discuss about it. So I can be like, you see, I have done the corruption of like 50 lakh. So let me pay the fine, the penalty outside the court. Let's not get into these things. Some experts says this will actually help court to lower down some burdens of these kind of cases. Right. Apart from that, the bill will provide the periodic revision of fine. Yes. But yeah, the way inflation is growing, right? The way things are getting better and worse, whatever is the trend, right? So the provision of the fine will be regularly what they will revise, right? They will have increase of 10% and certain amount specified act or something like that. Ankit, yes, the thing is, a very large number of chunk of experts believe that this is something which will actually allow uh, like people or the person who are conducting this kind of corruption act or something that will like they that is actually going to be like helpful कि उनको बाहर ही settle करने को मिल जाए. For example, like my 50 lakh rupees corruption is being caught, but what if I have done the corruption of 20 crores, which is not on the eyes or not being caught? So there are some experts which are not at all agreeing with this bill, but the government has number and they had made sure that pass हो गया है. So in some cases imprisonment का clause, fine वगैरह remove करके penalty add की गई. In certain cases जो settlement है वो court के बाहर भी हो सकता है by paying some penalties. And in some particular cases, like in other particular provisions, the fine is being increased with certain percentage depending upon how the things are working. Right. Simply, Kavyani, it's like imagine, how could I say? Yeah, there is this trend that was going on. There is an anchor in the TV channel who was fined for communalizing debates and something in the early in the early this year to I guess February in the February, and he was just fined for 25,000 and 50,000 for one show. So for one show he was fined with 25,000. For one show he was fined with the 50,000. Now, the kind of salary that Anchor is getting, the kind of revenue that Anchor is generating, this 25,000, 50,000 is not something which is going to be matter for them. So they want that this sort of things are not going to happen. So they are going to revise the fine and penalty in every 3 years. So if today somebody had some corruption and he's fined with just say 100 rupees. So after 3 years, same sort of corruption, that another person will be fined with at least 110 rupees, not with the 100 rupees. Get it? So वो revise कर रहे हैं. महंगाई बढ़ रही भैया. So what are the major act? Oh, one more thing. The bill removes all the offence and penalties under the Indian Post Office Act of 1898, which is considered to be obsolete and irrelevant for the present context. Yes, that was something from the favoring one, that there are a lot of provision unnecessary over there, which has like no relevance in the modern time. So they have removed all the offences, all the penalties of that kind of thing, including the Indian Post Office Act 1898. Okay. ये हो गया provision. What are the provision of the bill, what bill is doing, how they are amending, how they are doing things. Now, the major laws which are covered in this bill are these. The first one is Indian Forest Act 1927, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, the Information Technology Act IT Act 2000, the Environment Protection Act 1986, the Copyright Act 1957, the Patent Act 1970, the Railways Act 1989, and the Major one with the number 8 is the Food Safety and Standard Act 2006. I told you 42 acts, right? In total, 42 acts are being amended, right? 183 provisions are being decriminalized. These eight are major act which are covered in this bill. Indian Forest Act is associated with the forest concern, conservation. If you are doing anything wrong in the forest, like you are violating the fundamental rights of tribal people, you are cutting the forest, you are hunting some animal for money or something like that, right? वो. Second one is Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. So if you're not following the guideline from the Pollution Control Board or something or this particular act, then this is something that is being amended. IT Act, बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. The Environmental Protection Act, 1986, same sort of thing. Copyright Patent Act, similar thing. Railways Safety, Food Safety and Standards Act. These are some major acts which are covered in this bill. यस, फॉरेस्ट एक्ट में भी अमेंडमेंट हुआ है रिसेंटली. एक बिल आया था, लोकसभा में पास हो चुका है, राज्यसभा में शायद आज या कल में पहुंचाया नहीं, आई गेस मंडे को पहुंचाया जाएगा. Right. So this was the Jan Vishwas bill. Again, make sure the presentation of the government is to increase the transparency. Right? Some people are in favor because some undoubtedly provisions are good. Some people are not in favor because that will actually, like according to the experts, that will give kind of motivation, that will give encouragement to the people that they can, yes, skip the trial, they can skip the imprisonment, or the imprisonment is very less, or it's being decriminalized, so they can do that. So the debate is still going on. Still, the ministry and the educating officer is going to decide the fine. So chances are there that fine may be increased. It's going to be good thing. Let's hope for the best. So that was the Jan Vishwas bill. Can you tell me like अपने law minister change हुए क्या recently? Just try to find out who's the current law minister. So this was the Jan Vishwas Amendment of Provision Bill 2023 that was presented in Lok Sabha. Right? ध्यान रखना, it was first presented in the winter session, went to JPC, Joint Parliamentary Committee, and then in the March ending, the final bill is being ready, and now it is presented in the monsoon session. Okay, good. So let's move to the next topic: suspension of MPs from Parliament. Again, it's nothing to do with the Rahul Gandhi. Uh, Very good, Ankit. Very good, Kavyayani. This is Arjun Ram Meghbal. Make sure, like, uh, last some mock, in I guess two or three mock. One mock back, I have given this question in the mock, and people are still saying the wrong name. So we updated up. So suspension of MP in the Parliament. Yes. Now, the thing is, there are some particular issues that are going on in the parliament currently. Okay, the opposition and the ruling government, they are having certain issues, certain politics, and that is the beauty of democracy, that always opposition is trying to make sure that the ruling government is not doing bad, anything bad. And ruling government is something that is supposed to do good so that the opposition won't make it an issue. Right. Recently, what exactly happened is in the Rajya Sabha, there was this bill associated with the National Capital Territory, जो न्यू दिल्ली के आसपास का रीजन है, उसको हम एनसीटी, नेशनल कैपिटल रीजन, नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी बोलते हैं. There are some administrative aspect because Delhi is a union territory with a legislative assembly. So some powers, some authorities are being under the government which is being elected, and some authorities are under the control of central government like police. Okay. And apart from that, the authorities which comes under the state government of Delhi is simple. Like, for example, they can make their budget. They can actually transfer the officers from one department to another department. So the bill was brought to the parliament to change certain authorities. Yes, one of them, one of the major provision of that bill was authority of appointment and transfer of the officers. Yes, the officers for the administrative aspect. The thing is, it wasn't very well accepted. It wasn't very well welcomed by the current ruling party of Delhi, that is Aam Aadmi Party. And Aam Aadmi Party's leader, Sanjay Singh, right? He was opposing this bill in the monsoon session, right? He was trying that this bill is something which is not at all welcome because Delhi state government want to have more and more authority. The people of Delhi want to have a full state designation. They are not doing same kind of thing. So he was opposing that bill. And the way he was opposing, it wasn't liked by the chairman of Rajya Sabha, our vice president, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, and he suspended Sanjay Singh, the leader of Aam Aadmi Party in the Rajya Sabha, for entire monsoon session. Yes, so he suspended Sanjay Singh for the entire monsoon session. That is what something happened. Now, Sanjay Singh is opposing this decision. Aam Aadmi Party is opposing this decision. The opposition alliance, which is known as INDIA, that is also opposing this decision. Right? So the politics started. We're not going to discuss the politics. We had discussed the event, what happened. Now we are going to discuss how the MPs are being suspended for the session or something like that. Okay. You are clear with the event, what happened? Okay. So I guess no doubt. So we can directly discuss that. So that was the event. Let's discuss how and what can be how. Now you are aware about there are two houses of parliament. One is Lok Sabha, the lower house. One is Rajya Sabha, the upper house. Right? Lok Sabha is having the authority, which is known as the speaker. The Rajya Sabha is having the authority, the chairman, which is the vice president of India. So Rajya Sabha is having chairman, Lok Sabha is having speaker. That means in Lok Sabha, speaker have authority, such kind of authority. In Rajya Sabha, it is the chairman. So there is a general perception, or which in the political term we call general principle, that is simply saying that what whoever is the presiding officer, sometimes the vice president or chairman is not available, then okay, vice president or deputy speaker or vice chairman is over there, they can proceed it. So the presiding officer, correct, in case of speaker of Lok Sabha, chairman in Rajya Sabha, they are having moral duty, they are having a role to maintain the decorum and order in the house so that parliament can function well. I mean, imagine there is a classroom where there is a class teacher, and every single kid is doing whatever they want to do. I mean, there is a backbencher who is playing game in the mobile. There is a front bencher who just doesn't want to do anything, so he's like making aeroplane and throwing here and there. So it is like whether the class is going to function well. The answer is a big no. So similar sort of thing is happen in the Parliament House. Speaker has to maintain the decorum and order in the Lok Sabha, and chairman has a moral duty and role to maintain the decorum and order in the Rajya Sabha, so that the parliament can function smoothly and well. Now, parliament proceedings are very costly, you know that. Yes, so they want to have such kind of thing. So, but yeah, in any case, if there is some particular person or some member of parliament who decided that no, he is going to create nuisance, he is going to oppose, right? He is going to do any kind of thing which is not at all welcome, then the speaker and chairman have authority to remove that member from the house. Yes, they can be like, "Ki, you can get out of the class. Yeah, you can get out of the house. And if even after that, the member is not behaving well according to the like will of the chairman or speaker, then chairman or speaker can suspend that member from the parliament house from for an entire session. For example, coming currently we are having the this particular monsoon session is going on. right? So that's a general principle. Now understand one thing: politics, right, is something which is always been there, right? And they are like कि क्या कर सकते हैं क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं, what can be done, what cannot be done. In some cases the chairman or the speaker behaves well, in some cases they don't behave well. This is the general perception of opposition and the ruling government according to the politics. We're not again going to the politics, that is quite simple, you know this, right? We are going to uh, this particular thing कि भैया क्या क्या हो सकता है. So simply, general perception, general principle clear hai. It's the duty and moral duty and rule of speaker and chairman to maintain the decorum so that the house can function properly, smoothly. In any case, any sort of nuisance, he or she can be dismissed. Right? Now, there are some rules associated with that. For example, yeah, parliament function with certain rule. Make sure to understand this. Okay, so there is a rule 373. According to the rule number 373, the procedure and conduct of business, the speaker, if it is opinion that conduct of any member is grossly disorderly, may direct such member to withdraw immediately from the house, or any member to order to withdraw shall be have seen it. So simply 373 कहता है कि भैया, in any case if a speaker feels or speaker finds that any member is not behaving well, not maintaining the decorum, they are somehow creating the nuisance which is creating obstacle in the parliamentary proceeding or something, the member is ordered to withdraw, right? And for that they can use force as well. There are some particular uh, people in the parliament who can get him out of that. In any case, right? In any case, if if the member is still not behaving, he or she can be suspended for the entire session. So rule 373 is associated with the speaker wala part, right? And moving on, there is rule 255. Like speaker in Lok Sabha, the chairman of Raj Sabha is empowered under the rule 255 to direct any member whose conduct, in his opinion, is grossly disorderly to withdraw immediately from the house. Right? Yes. Just make sure to understand. The thing is, the one rule is for Raj Sabha, one rule is for the Lok Sabha. Now, again, unlike the Speaker of Lok Sabha, the Raj Sabha chairman doesn't have power to suspend a member. Yes, that is something. The Speaker can actually suspend someone. Please, you are suspended for entire session. The chairman doesn't have that kind of authority according to rules, according to law, because the Rajya Sabha is upper house and members are being elected by our elected representatives. So they don't have any sort of authority. Rajya Sabha chairman or the vice president doesn't have authority or power to suspend any member. Just that is the reason why there should be another motion, yeah, right? There can be another motion to terminate the suspension. For example, if the chairman suspended someone, that you are suspended. But yeah, that person can bring a motion, right, just to make sure that bhaiya suspension terminate over. But in Lok Sabha, that is not going to happen. Rule 256 is about the like the chairman can suspend a member from the service of council for a period not exceeding the remainder of the session. So 256 is saying yes, you can suspend someone, but for one session at max. In the next session, he is going to be welcome in the Parliament House, Rajya Sabha. Right? This is about the upper house, not in the lower house. And but yeah, what are the terms of suspension we are talking about? The maximum period of suspension is for the remaining session, that is monsoon session. Abhi for now, for Sanjay Singh, Aam Aadmi Party leader. Suspended member cannot enter the chamber, attend the meeting of the any committee. Right? He will not be eligible to give any notice for discussion or submission, and he loses the right to get a reply to his question. Simply, if they are asking about any, like asking any question to any ministry or any department, they are not having right when they are suspended. Okay. Apart from that, in the constitution, these are the parliamentary rule book. In the constitution, article 122 is associated with the parliamentary proceeding, right? That any parliamentary proceeding cannot be questioned before the court. सिंपली कहा जाए, अगर पार्लियामेंट के अंदर कोई भी नेता, राजनेता, कोई भी लीडर, इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कुछ कहते हैं, राइट, तो उसको आप कोर्ट में नहीं लेके जा सकते, सिंपल सी भाषा में ये। हाँ, आउटसाइड द पार्लियामेंट इफ ही इज सेइंग समथिंग, राइट, yes, if outside the parliament if he's saying something, that can be brought to the court, for example Rahul Gandhi's case. But if the same thing that he said outside the parliament he's saying in the parliament, it's not going to be on the in court, right? No, Kavyayini, no, that cannot be happened. And there are some particular event recently where the decision, yeah, right, like this kind of suspension decision was challenged in the court. For example, Maharashtra in 2021, महाराष्ट्र के 12 बीजेपी एमएलए जो थे उनको सस्पेंड किया गया था. सो वो बात जो है वो कहाँ पहुंची थी, कोर्ट में. बट अगेन, इन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द केसेस द कोर्ट ऑलवेज डायरेक्ट टुवर्ड द speaker or the chairman or whoever is there in the authority of presiding bodies. So these are the provision associated with the suspension and articles, sorry, in the Indian Constitution and in the parliamentary rule. The thing is, again, same particular thing that you have to understand, right? The thing is, simply politics. Apart from politics, you are just supposed to learn about the constitutional provision and parliamentary provisions. Okay. So these were the two major events that happened, and let's move to the questions directly. The system is same, the procedure is same. All you have to do is to reply with A, B, C, D, and we are going to discuss about the question. Ready? So, question number one: who took over as the new managing director, MD, and CEO, Chief Executive Officers of Invest India in July 2023? जुलाई 2023 में इन्वेस्ट इंडिया नए चेयरमैन एंड सॉरी चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर एंड मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर कौन है? ऑप्शंस आर राजीव अग्रवाल, मनमीत के नंदा, नवित्री राय एंड राधिका राय. अंकित, दैट इज आउटसाइड द पार्लियामेंट ना. उन्होंने 2019 के इलेक्शन के पहले एक स्पीच दिया था. दैट द केस इज एसोसिएटेड विद दैट. यस. सो if the same thing he had said outside the parliament, if he had said same thing in the parliamentary session, I'm pretty sure koi court proceeding nahi hota. Right? Okay. So, Kagaini, can I see that is Navitri Rai? Anyone else? I'm seeing the comments on mobile mein. You can answer. Okay, Ankit is also saying C, that is Navitri Rai. Yes, the correct answer is option number C, Navitri Rai. Now, Invest in India क्या है? Invest India जो भी है, ये simply, if we are talking about its proper definition, this is National Investment Promotion and Facilitation Agency of the country. Yes. So there is this Make in India, right? And if you want to grow your business and if you want to seek some investment, whether that is the local or the foreign investment, the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, Government of India has facilitated under the Industrial Policy and Promotion, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, which is governing this particular entity, Invest India. And this is something that is working toward bringing the investment in bulk in India in the different sector in different industries. So recently, in the July ending, Navitri Rai has took charges as the new managing director and CEO of Invest India. And if I'm not wrong, she is the first female to do so. Right? So make sure to understand this is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Right? Where was the Human Planet Forum 2023 held in July? Nivriti. Okay, I guess UI is close to the keyboard and I missed it. Right. Where was the Human Planet Forum 2023 held in July 2023? The options are Vienna, Tokyo, New York, Rome. Okay, so Kavyani is saying C, that's New York. Anyone else? क्या इतना भारी क्वेश्चन हो गया क्या? Okay, the correct answer is option number C, New York. Yes, Human Planet Initiative, right, is one of the geostrategic plan of 10 year of decade 2016 to 2025, right? Huh. They just want to have evidence-based studies and assessment for the presence of human in the planet Earth and their development and the rate of development in their current condition. So simply, right, simply अगर बात की जाए तो they are talking about the presence of one individual, sorry, the human individual at different locality and their current assessment, whether they are in having enough food, whether they are having nutrition, whether they are having good development, communication medium, sanitation, or not. Now, this is something that they are doing in the Human Planet Forum. United Nation High Level Political Forum जो है इनको associate करती है. In 2023, they had some major objectives. First, one is the post-pandemic priorities of human planet. Yes, like pandemic has disturbed a lot of people in very different ways. Some businesses lost, some lives lost, and some mental and physical issues and all other things. So the first priority was to find the consequences, find the senses about how the post-pandemic era is affecting human planet and what are the major priorities that we should work. Apart from that, they want to increase the community connection so that everybody can help each other and some report assessment and all. So this particular thing was happened in New York, right? I guess 18 to 20 July, right? Moving on. Who has been appointed as the 25th Director General of the Indian Coastal Guard, ICG, in July 2023? So July 2023 में 25th Director General of Indian Coastal Guard किसे बनाया गया? Options are Kuldeep Singh, Rakesh Pal, Deepak Chauhan, Pankaj Singh. Come on. Okay, Kavyani saying B, that's Rakesh Pal. Very good. और कोई? Ankit is also saying B, that's Rakesh Pal. Very correct. The correct answer is option number 3, C, Director General Rakesh Pal. Almost 34 years of services. Yeah, he was part from the Indian Naval Academy and he joined the Indian Coastal Guard in 1989. Then he worked in different areas and different like initiatives like electro-optic fire central solution जो कि United Kingdom से आया था and all other thing. So he is having some 34 years of experience in the Coastal Guard and the coast related knowledge and ultimately he is being appointed as the Director General of Indian Coastal Guard. Just make sure to understand Army, Navy, Air Force, Paramilitary, Coast Guard, they all are different wings and all are being led by some different person. Okay, don't forget about it. Moving on, which city has topped the QS Best Student City Ranking 2022, राइट. सो 2024 के लिए, 2024 के लिए क्यूएस बेस्ट सिटीज रैंकिंग लिस्ट में किस सिटी ने टॉप किया है? दैट इज बीइंग रिसेंटली लाइक published in July 2023. The ranking is simple: which city is suited best for students? That's it. Options are Tokyo, London, Sydney, Munich. Come on. Okay, Kavani Singh B, London. Ankit Prisha? No? Yes, the correct answer is option number B, London. Okay, so London is having one of the best institution in the world, whether that is King's College, whether that is the University College, that Oxford, etc., etc. Right. Apart from that, London is also having best opportunities for the part-time work for the foreign students. Yes, if I want to be there, I don't want to like spend lots of money of my parents, no? So I can work over there in certain uh, institution or a certain particular venture, and I can earn money as well for myself. So London is best suited city for the students according to the new ranking of QS Best Student Cities ranking. Any Indian city in top 100? Anyone? Chennai, yes. Yes, so Mumbai is ranked as, I guess, 118. Delhi was ranked 132. Bangalore and Chennai. Bangalore was under 150, so it was on Chennai. I'm not sure. I guess 147, 148 rank hai Bangalore ki. And Chennai was like after 150, right? Yeah, Bangalore. So, in case of India, the most suitable city for student is Mumbai, followed by Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai. You can find good institution, you can find good amount of work, and apart from that, these are the areas where you can find good amount of placement as well. So that is why these cities are the most suited cities for student, according to the report. Okay, moving on. Where did the G20 Labor and Employment Ministries Ministers Meeting 2020 three took place in July 2020. Yes, Kavyani, London is also like top in the last year also. So भैया G20 Labor and Employment Ministers की मीटिंग कहाँ पे हुई जुलाई में? Options are भुवनेश्वर, पटना, इंदौर, जयपुर. Option number A is Bhubaneswar. Ankit is saying Bhubaneswar. Indore. Yes, Indore in MP. I'm like operating from here now, so that is the reason I put this question here. No, 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 no. That's not the reason. This is important. Our Labor Minister, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, was there here, and he inaugurated it. And they talk about the climate change. They talk about the labor laws. They talk about the employment condition after pandemic. And बहुत सारा चीज़ है. Approximately 200 delegates, approximately 200 concerned delegates, major delegates were there. And they had like discussed even after like they discussed about the Ukraine war as well. And some short was there that was like today's era must not be a war, right? Must not be a war. This is something that was said by our prime minister as well, who like distally present over there. So this was conducted in Indore. Same thing. We are the president of G20 for this year. That means we are going to have lots of events relevant to the G20. So if you are finding news related G20 summit or conference related G20, don't get bored. Make sure, right, to be there. And make sure to write down. And I guess this is the fourth edition for the Employment and Labor Summit, Ministry Summit. Okay, moving on. When was the International Moon Day observed in July 2023? जुलाई 2023 में इंटरनेशनल मून डे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय चंद्रमा दिवस कब मनाया गया? ऑप्शंस आर 22nd जुलाई, 20th जुलाई, 18th जुलाई, 15th जुलाई. बोलो. Okay, so B, Kavyani can I B, that is 20th July. Ankit, Ankit is also saying B, that's 20th July. Yes, the correct answer is option number B, 20th of July. So, but yeah, this was the year of 1969. Yes, जब नासा ने अपना अपोलो 11 जो है वो अपोलो it was 1969 when NASA decided to send the Apollo 11 lunar mission to the moon, and that was the first time when three astronauts, that was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, right? These three reached to the moon, and they left country in 16th of July, I guess, and they reached there in 20th of July. In 2021, the United Nations decided to honor that day, and that is why they decided that 20th of July should be honored as the International Moon Day. Yes. So that is something be there. This year, I guess they had this theme that international cooperation in the peaceful use of outer space kind of thing, right? So that was 20th of July. Moving on. Who has been named the first women to head the US Navy in July 2023? जुलाई 2023 में किस पहली महिला को यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स नेवी का हेड नॉमिनेट किया गया है बाय द जो बाइडेन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन? The options are Admiral Lisa Franchetti, Admiral Powell M, Admiral Janet Zelina, none of the above. बताओ भैया. Okay, Kaveni Singh A, that is Admiral Lisa Franchetti. Saw it in the newspaper. Very good, bache. If you are reading newspaper, I'm proud of you. Okay, yes, the correct answer is option number A, Admiral Lisa Fresh. Yes, according to the Biden administration, they want to break all the gender-related barriers. That is why, even in the military as well. So that is why she is being appointed as the head of the U.S. Navy. Formerly, she was working as the Vice Chief of Operation of Navy. I'm not sure how much this news is confirmed or something like that. Right. The Pentagon, which is the security office of the US, they were expecting some other name that was Admiral Samuel Paparo to lead the Navy, but the Biden administration actually surprised by nominating the Admiral Lisa Frenchett as the first woman to head US Navy. Yes, that was key news. Moving on. India has tied up with which European country to use UPI? रिसेंटली किस देश के साथ भारत ने यह समझौता किया है कि वहां पे यूपीआई यानी यूनिफाइड पेमेंट इंटरफेस चल जाएगा? ऑप्शंस आर ब्रिटेन, फ्रांस, इटली और स्पेन. Come on. Okay, so Kavyani is saying B, that's France. Ankit is saying B, that's France. Okay, very correct. Like, I'll say something first. So, no, 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 France, Prisha, France. So, UPI service had signed an MOU with the France Fast and Secure Online Payment called Lyra, right? Yeah, MOU. The thing is, MOUs are one of the particular news that you will find a lot in the current affairs website. You will find a lot in different general knowledge current affairs magazine as well. But I'm pretty sure no exam, like whatever experience I'm having, I've seen tons of different exam papers, but no exam paper have ever asked about any MOU signed between two parties, right? Yes. But in this case, our Prime Minister in France, right, La Scene Musicale, ये मुझे जो पता है ना? ये नाम है, ये कम्युनिटी हॉल है जहाँ पे इंडियन कम्युनिटी को उन्होंने एड्रेस किया था और after addressing this, he said that now very soon the Indian tourists are going to pay in rupees to reach the Eiffel Tower top. Yes. So this is one of the particular declaration or one of the particular announcement that is made by our beloved Prime Minister. So this is going to be important. Or else, if you are finding any news, any question in any website related to any MOUs, you can straight ignore that. Right? ये तुम कर सकते हो. MOUs are not legal documentation जो पूरे हो गए. MOUs टूट भी सकते हो. So if there is a big announcement like Prime Minister is announcing something, it's going to be there. If not, then you can ignore it. Okay, so and this is it from my side for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Yes or no? Thank you. So, in the next session, we are going to have some more questions to discuss. We are going to discuss some more topic. Till then, I wish you and all your loved one a good health, good mental health. Just make sure to stay motivated, stay positive for your studies, and I'll see you soon. Good night, guys. See ya. Thank you, Suksimran, Ankit, Kavyayani. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.